Hi.
I've been making Fortnite creative maps ever since the mode first came out in 2018. A lot of them I deleted because half the time I never finished them, and the other half of the time they became unplayable on a random day due to a bug. All the maps I will be showing today I promise I will be releasing, but will have to be at a later date since I don't meet the requirements to publish them. The first of which, as you can tell, this is based off of Five Nights at Freddy's, and it will be a mix of the first and second games. Starting with the office mechanics, the night guard can use the cameras, which will play heavily with the animatronics. The night guard can also use the flashlight to flash the door and pull the lever to close the other door. Onto the animatronics, there will be 5. Well, technically 4, Durburger, Tomato Head, Guaco, Lil Whip, and the Intruder. Durburger mostly acts like a traditional animatronic where he will roam around the building until he makes his way to your office. Tomato Head acts more like Withered Foxy, where he will go backstage, then to your office, and you'll have to flash your light at him to send him back to the stage. Guaco is a more complicated animatronic. He plays somewhat like Freddy from the first Five Nights at Freddy's game. Once he is activated, he will travel around the building, and you will have to find him and flash him with the camera light. If you don't, he will sit outside your office, and you have to keep your door closed for the entire duration that he's there. Lil Whip acts like the opposite to Guaco. When he activates, he will travel around the building covering the cameras that he appears in. If you flash him, he will temporarily deactivate the cameras. Last of all, the Intruder. I got inspiration for the Intruder based off of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie where there were a group of burglars that broke into the restaurant. In this game, the Intruder pulls up to the building in a vehicle and you have to shine your light at it to shoo off the Intruder. If you don't, the Intruder will enter the building and end the night. Just like Five Nights at Freddy's, the game will feature 5 nights, but I'm going to do something different with the 6th and 7th night. The 6th night will be renamed to Nightmare, and the 7th night will be a traditional 2020-2020 mode that is featured in most of the games. Nightmare will have a more reddish lighting, the animatronics will move faster, and have a chance to instantly teleport to your office.
Bro, what even happened?
2020-2020 mode will have the animatronics not miss a single movement opportunity.
I can't stop winning!
If you don't know what a movement opportunity is, it's the code for 90% of the animatronics from the first 5 games. If the number they roll is less than the set AI level, then the animatronics will move. If it is more than the set AI level, then the animatronics will stay where they are and re-roll the random number generator. As you might tell, the reason why the 20 modes are so difficult is because the animatronics cannot miss a single movement opportunity.
Compared to all the other ones, I think the first one took me 7, the third one took me 3 or something hours, I can't remember, and this one took me 2.
For the story of the map, I want to save that for later down the line in a separate video or when the map gets published. I've been working on this map off and on since winter of 2025, and I honestly been kind of avoiding from working on this map because it's the most complex map I've ever worked on, and it always feels like I'm doing something wrong, but I can't tell what.
Luigi!
Next up,
Sir, get down! Sir, get down! Sir, get down! Hey! Hey! Hey!
the most simple way I could describe this game is that it's a 4v1 horror PvP game, or basically Dead by Daylight with guns. Some background story for this map: you're part of a division in the IO that specializes in taking down anomalies across different Battle Royale maps. The 4 IO agents must hunt down and eliminate the anomaly before the storm arrives, and the anomaly must eliminate all IO agents or survive until the storm arrives. The IO agents will have 3 different classes to choose from: Assault, Recon, and Medic. Assault will be equipped with a combat rifle, flashlight pistol, and grenade. This class is made to deal as much damage as possible to the anomaly. Recon will be equipped with thermal DMR, flashlight pistol, and recon scanner. This class is made to spot and damage the anomaly from a long range. The medic will be equipped with the auto shotgun, flashlight pistol, and med mist. This class is made to heal damaged teammates and deal damage to the anomaly from short distances. There are only a few classes I came up with for the anomaly, which are the Traitor, the Brute, and the Stalker. The Traitor is the IO agent that went rogue, and he's equipped with the LMG, riot shield, and fire grenade. The Brute is your traditional Jason-like juggernaut equipped with a hammer, harpoon gun, and smoke grenades. The Stalker is an anomaly that follows IO agents and strikes at the right time, and he's equipped with a grapple blade, tracking visor, and cloak gauntlets. To further amplify the stalking part of the class, the player will start with a half damage multiplier, and over time they will increase the damage multiplier up to 1.5 times damage, and it will reset whenever an item is used. I started working on this map a few months ago until things got more complicated than they needed to, so I completely reset the entire map starting from scratch. Anyways, moving on to Fish and Fight was something I came up with randomly, and it's also my favorite map out of all the maps I'm showing today. It's my favorite genre of PvP games, and it reminds me of the maps that came out in the early days of Fortnite Creative. How Fish and Fight works is, weapons fall down the waterfall and consumables spawn in the pond. There will be 10 players with fishing rods and they will have to fish the loot out of the pond within a minute and a half. After a minute and a half of fishing, all fishing items will be removed from your inventory and you'll have to pick up loot off the floor. There will also be a map vote for various locations across all of Fortnite. After the map vote, the players will be teleported to the map with the most votes and fight for 5 minutes, and the person with the most eliminations wins that round. Each elimination grants you 1 gold. If you get 3rd place, you'll get 10 gold. If you get 2nd place, you get 25 gold. If you get 1st place, you get 50 gold. You can spend your gold in the item shop to get better fishing items such as the pro fishing rod for 10 gold, harpoon gun for 25 gold. You can also spawn a mythic item for 50 gold or a random exotic item for 100 gold. This map is almost done and all I have to do is the maps, map voting, and saving gold in between play sessions. Last of all,
So how's the war going for you guys?
I can't wait to go back home and see my mom.
so funny story, I came up with the idea for this map from the game Arma 3, which is, from what I've heard, the most realistically accurate milsim out there. Here's the thing, I never played nor know anything about how Arma works, so all I did was take the base of a milsim, add SUVs, tanks, helicopters, and 4 classes: Assault, Engineer, Medic, and Recon. It was then that I realized that I just made Battlefield. For those who don't know what Battlefield is, it's basically Call of Duty on a bigger map, more destruction, more vehicles, more players, and classes with more items to play with. I changed things in the HUD by taking out things that aren't needed or to make things more like a milsim, like building resources, storm timer, and reticle. Whenever a player is down, there will be a red and blurry screen, then all sound effects become muffled, kinda like when an explosion goes off in a movie and the main character goes deaf for a moment. Also, there will be a heartbeat sound playing. And all of this will keep going until the player is eliminated or revived. For the weapons in this map, I opted to use the Chapter 5 modular weapons rather than the normal hit scan weapons. I hated the bullet drop weapons as much as the next guy, but let me explain why these are great for this map. There's no movement items outside of the vehicles, they add to the realism because of the bullet drop, and they can be customized with attachments. All the classes in this map are very similar when it comes to the layout of their loadout, with the primary weapon, secondary weapon, utility, gadget, and bandages, with the primary weapon and utility being customizable. The assault class lets you choose between the combat assault rifle, the tactical assault rifle, or the burst assault rifle, and grenades, flashbangs, and thermite as an anti-vehicle utility. The engineer lets you choose between the hyper SMG, the harbinger SMG, and a hammer pump shotgun for primary weapons. Even though all the classes have some sort of anti-vehicle utility, the engineer does the best in destroying, repairing, and providing upgrades for vehicles.
That boy ass pulled up in a Hawk machine.
Letting you choose between the remote explosives, repair torch, or the cow catcher. The medic lets you choose between the ballistic shield and the drum gun since it's the closest thing to an LMG. To help provide cover for teammates, you can choose between the deployable cover, smoke grenades, and EMP grenades to disable vehicles. The recon class lets you choose between the heavy impact sniper rifle for destroying vehicles, the vengeful sniper rifle, and the DMR for primary weapons. You can also choose between the proximity mines, recon grenades, and grenades because I ran out of ideas for utility. I wanted to try to exclude meta weapons from this map such as the Striker AR, Thunderburst SMG, and Reaper sniper rifle, since no one will be using anything but those and the map will get very repetitive very quickly.
Except you stay.
I have some game modes in mind for this map, which are Team Deathmatch, Last Man Standing, Domination, and VIP. Team Deathmatch is your standard 2 teams fight until one comes out with more eliminations. Last Man Standing is Team Deathmatch but with respawns off, so instead of which team comes out with more eliminations, it's whichever team can come out with more surviving players. I wanted to do a new take on the Domination game mode where every point that a team takes would give them a new vehicle, advantage, or some sort of resupply. And the more contested points on the map will have higher rewards like an extra tank, plane, or very good advantage point. VIP is where one player on each team is chosen to be VIP. They must be escorted to the other side of the map without being eliminated, and whoever eliminates the VIP first or gets escorted first wins. For the maps, I have 4 ideas. A plains map with a mix of forests, flatland, and rural towns, an urban map full of buildings in a desert environment, a trench warfare map taking place in a cold, snowy environment, and a swamp map with lots of trees and very few buildings scattered around. To wrap everything up, this is my most ambitious map and it's going to take the longest to make because the only things I've done with this map are the loadouts for the classes, some concepts for buildings, and the down system. Moving on from Fortnite Creative, I'm going to talk about my plans for this channel. If you didn't know, this is actually my first video on this channel and I'll be making videos on things like Fortnite Creative, Fortnite in general, Transformers, PC building, and other other things that I like. That's gonna be it for today's video. This script is already 6 pages long, and I don't know about you, but that's kinda crazy.
Yo, boom. The king goes.